Do you ever find yourself really distracted while you're working or worrying about lots of things that have nothing to do with what you're currently working on? I get this a lot, and it's one of the reasons that I have a daily meditation practice. But if you're new to meditation, if you've heard that meditation can help you be more focused, be less stressed, and so be more productive, where do you start? There are some really good meditation apps out there, and in this video, I'll be reviewing 3 meditation apps that may be helpful for you to build a meditation practice. They are Headspace, 10% Happier, and Waking Up. So let's dive into the review. Now, there are 3 features that I think every meditation app should do really well. The first is that it should have guided meditation courses that teach you meditation techniques. The second is that it should have a really good built-in meditation timer for when you want to do an unguided meditation on your own. And the third is that it should have features to help you build a habit of meditating, because it isn't easy to learn how to meditate on a daily or near daily basis. So I'll be reviewing each of the 3 apps on the 3 criteria, and I'll also be talking about some bonus features that each app offers and that may make it a better choice for you than the other ones. Let's go.
Let's take a look at Headspace. Headspace is an app by, among others, former Buddhist monk Andy Puddicombe. How does it do at the first key quality of a meditation app? Having guided meditation courses that teach meditation techniques. The courses are under the Explore tab. And a good place to start is the Meditation Basics courses. In these basics courses, Andy will teach you what meditation is all about, and he'll teach you some basic meditation techniques as well. Going through these courses is really handy, and once you finish the 3 basics courses, which will take you 30 days if you do 1 per day, there are also some pro-level courses. I believe there are 6 of them, and if you do those, that's another 60 days worth of courses. So you have about 3 months of a track that you can go through, and those are just the introductory courses, really. After that, you can do a ton of other courses on lots of other topics, such as stress and anxiety, for example, a course on restlessness, or on performance mindsets, personal growth, kids and parenting, sports, lots of topics. And in these courses, there will be a mix of some explanation by Andy on how you can use meditation to help you in this aspect of your life, as well as the guided meditation. Now, I will say that the guided meditations in these courses tend to be very similar from course to course. So there'll be some advice on how to apply meditation to what you're currently dealing with, but the actual meditations often involve just a few techniques. Speaking of techniques, Headspace has a lot of content on helping you learn meditation techniques. From learning the basics of how to not try too hard, or how to deal with having frustrated thoughts in your mind, to am I doing it right? Am I making progress? To learning how to meditate consistently, as well as to just simply to understand how do some of the techniques work, like noting or visualization. There are these cute animations that teach you some of these techniques, and these animations will also pop up while you're doing a course sometimes.
Sometimes, when we're meditating and we realize the mind's wandered off, we might not know how to react.
So these videos are very helpful, and if you would like to learn very specific meditation techniques and you sometimes struggle with applying these techniques, these videos will help you stay on track. Now, there's a lot more in here than I'm going to cover in this video, but rest assured, Headspace has a lot of videos, animations to help you learn to meditate more efficiently. Now, what about the second key quality of a meditation app in Headspace? What about the timer? It's under Meditation Basics and Timer. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that the timers are right here. There are 3 of them, although the guided meditation is not really just a timer. It's really just a longer guided meditation if you want it to be longer. That is not part of a course. There's also the unguided meditation timer, which is basically just a gong, and you can set it for as long as you want, up to 2 hours. And trust me, 2 hours of meditating is a lot of time to meditate. What I really love in Headspace is the semi-guided meditation. It's when you're doing a longer sitting, let's say half an hour or more, you may have a lot of thoughts like, oh, how much longer is it going to be? Or, oh, maybe the timer failed or something like that. And so what you can do is have a semi-guided meditation, and every now and then you'll hear someone, for example, Andy, just remind you to focus on your breath. And it's very unobtrusive, but it helps you stay on track for those longer meditations. Now, what about the third key quality of a meditation app? The features to help you build a meditation habit. One of the things that I love about Headspace is Everybody Headspace. So you can go right on the homepage right here and see Everybody Headspace, and it says currently 164 people are meditating. So it's really neat. And if you tap Join In, you'll actually join a meditation that a lot of other people are doing as well, and it'll be a guided meditation. Now, does that do anything other than help you know that other people are meditating at the same time? No, but it's pretty neat to know that you're meditating and other people all around the world are also sitting to meditate and listening to the same thing. So it may help motivate you a little bit. Some of the other features that I love to help you build a meditation habit are actually part of the notifications. So if you go into the settings in Headspace and then go to the notifications part, there are two parts here that I really love. One is mindful moments. So you can turn on these notifications and essentially have Headspace remind you 1 to 5 times a day to take a moment and be mindful of what's going on. And that can be really handy to practice your meditation and mindfulness, not only when you're doing a formal sitting, but also just throughout your daily life. Then Headspace has these meditation reminders. It's a basic feature, but very well executed in Headspace. You can say, remind me to meditate, let's say at 10 a.m. on, every day. And you can even have Headspace put it on your calendar, so it blocks off some time on your calendar for you to meditate. It's a lovely feature and very handy if you're struggling to make meditation a consistent habit for you. Now, finally, what are some of the bonus features in Headspace? First of all, Andy Puttigam's voice is just incredibly soothing. It's really lovely to listen to, so that's nice. The animations are very cute in Headspace as well, and can really help you look forward to meditating and using the app. Then there is Everyday Headspace. It's just a daily meditation that changes, where Andy will reflect on something that he's been thinking about or that you may be struggling with, and it turns into a guided meditation. The guided meditation part of Everyday Headspace is mostly the same every day, but the 1 or 2 minute introductory talk is different and unique every day. Headspace is also available in German and French, which is pretty neat if those are your main languages and you prefer to meditate and get your instructions in German or French rather than in English. I don't think everything has been fully translated, but it looks like most of the things have been translated into German and French, so that's really neat. Now, last thing I'm going to mention is Headspace for sleep. And this is such a big focus for Headspace that they created an entire separate tab for it at the bottom. There are 5 parts to Headspace for sleep, and 3 of them are designed to help you fall asleep. The first one is Sleepcasts, and Sleepcasts is just a story being told to help you fall asleep while you're listening to this soothing story.
There's something about taking a slow train. It's satisfying on a fundamental level.
The second feature is Sleep Music. It's just music that you can fall asleep to. The third feature to help you fall asleep is Soundscapes. They are 3D recordings from some of the world's most lovely places, according to Headspace. For example, it's just tropical jungle background sounds. So if you're someone who tends to fall asleep when there's soothing sounds, then that is lovely and may help you a lot. It's not really got anything to do with meditation, but a lot of people are interested in meditation to sleep better. So I understand why they added this to the app. Now, there are 2 other features in here that are more about meditation. There are the wind down meditations. So those are meant to be done right before you go to sleep or maybe as you're in bed, and it just helps you calm down and put your body in that mode to help you fall asleep. And those are some pretty solid meditations. I like those. Finally, there's the nighttime SOS feature under the sleep tab. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you're having a certain problem, for example, you had a nightmare or your mind is racing, you can use one of these relatively short meditations just to help you get your mind ready to fall back asleep. So that was Headspace, a lovely app. It's very cutesy. Andy's voice is very soothing. I highly recommend this app. There's a lot of stuff in here, lots of courses. You could really use Headspace very effectively for a long time. Let's take a look at the 10% Happier app. It's an app that is the brainchild of Dan Harris, an ABC News correspondent and anchor. He also wrote a book called 10% Happier, which is very insightful and funny, and I highly recommend it. Dan's approach is to teach meditation for fidgety skeptics. To get started, if you're new to meditation, you'll want to start with the basics courses with Joseph Goldstein. Now, Joseph Goldstein is excellent at teaching meditation, so that's a big plus for 10% Happier. The basics courses include a mix of short videos and some guided meditations. It starts out really simple and really short and then becomes longer as you go through. The basics courses are great, but after you go through the basics courses, it's not really clear where you should go next. There's a bunch of other courses in 10% Happier by a bunch of other teachers, and some of those teachers are really good, and some of those courses are really good as well. But it's not really clear in what order you should go through them. I mean, if you're dealing with certain emotions and you want to use meditation to help you address those emotions, that's great. But is the emotions course the one you want? Or the insights course? Or the relationships course? It's not really clear. So you may have to do some more picking and trying stuff and seeing what you like and what you don't. It's a downside as well as an upside, of course. Because there are so many different meditation teachers in this app, in 10% Happier, you'll almost certainly find a meditation teacher whose style really appeals to you. For example, I really like Jeff Warren, who's very funny and makes meditation really fun. Now, there is not a super heavy focus on meditation techniques in the 10% Happier app. You'll learn techniques as you're going through courses or through some of the single meditations, but really, the techniques are introduced sort of on the side. The app is really heavy on videos on how to apply meditation in daily life. And there are a lot of interviews with meditation teachers. There's not a heavy focus on meditation techniques. Now, what about the second key quality of a meditation app? How does 10% Happier do at simply being a meditation timer for you? Well, there's a timer here, and of course you can set the time, how long you want to meditate, and start and stop it. It's very basic, but it does the job. And what about the third quality? How does 10% Happier help you build a meditation habit? Now, there is the statistics. 10% Happier will show you how many mindful days you've had in total, how many sessions, how many minutes, and it just pulls this information from Apple Health. It will also show you for the last 4 weeks which days have you meditated using a meditation app and which ones have you not. And these statistics are not only for your use of 10% Happier, but all meditation apps. There's also a reminder setting, so you can set a reminder to remind yourself to meditate at a certain time every day. This feature is not as advanced as the one in Headspace, for example, but it does the job. Finally, there is a killer feature in 10% Happier, and that is that it includes coaching from actual meditation coaches. So if you need some extra accountability, then you can simply go and talk to a meditation coach and say, hey, this is what's going on with me. Can you help me out? And they will help you. I think it's very cool, and if you know you could use that extra accountability, that can really set 10% Happier apart from the other apps that I'm talking about in this review. Now, finally, what are some of the bonus features in 10% Happier? Really, the only one that's worth talking about is these talks. They're kind of like short podcasts on topics related to meditation and mindfulness. So let's say you're on the go and you don't want to do a meditation, but you do feel like gaining some wisdom on mindfulness or meditation, then you can listen to one of these short podcasts.
We all know that our smartphones are increasingly indispensable.
And that can be pretty neat. So overall, 10% Happier is a great meditation app. You do have to find your way around it a little bit more than in the other meditation apps, but the upside is that there's a lot of different teachers that can teach you a lot of different things, and there will very likely be some courses in there that you'll really enjoy. Now let's take a look at the Waking Up app, an app by Sam Harris, who is a neuroscientist, philosopher, and author. He also wrote a book called Waking Up, which is very good, and I highly recommend the Waking Up book as well. Sam's interest is primarily in investigating the nature of consciousness and in helping you investigate the nature of your consciousness. So it's a bit of a different approach than some of the other meditation apps, whereas Headspace and 10% Happier are really focused on helping you deal with some common life problems. Sam goes full in on helping you understand what your consciousness is like and helping you understand what benefits you'll get if you get a better understanding of your consciousness. So how does Waking Up do at meditation courses? Well, there's one main course. There's a couple of short other courses on metta, but it's just a few lessons, and on meditation for kids. But the main course is the introductory course. And the introductory course has 50 lessons, so it'll take you 50 days if you do one per day. And they're all 10-minute meditations. Now, along with that, there are the lessons. And the lessons are really Sam talking and explaining what meditation is all about and what some of the topics related to meditation are all about. For example, there's lessons on free will and on solving problems and on the mystery of being, the illusory self. And these are really interesting lessons. You don't need to follow the lessons as you're also going through the introductory course, but Sam will remind you every now and then that it's handy to kind of do the two side by side. And it's nice to separate out the formal meditations from the lessons this way, so you can do what you feel like doing in a given moment. What about the meditation timer in the Waking Up app? Well, there's a separate tab for it, and it's the best meditation timer of the 3 apps. You can, of course, set the number of minutes you'd like to meditate. And then at the top, it'll tell you what time you will finish, which is really handy if you've got an appointment to go to. You can also set interval times, and this is something I really love. So, for example, every 10 minutes, you can have a gong going off, or halfway through the meditation, you can have a gong going off. If you've ever done a longer meditation sitting, or even just a short one, you might understand that when you're doing a meditation, you may sometimes wonder, oh, is the timer broken? Will I be late for something? That's why the Waking Up timer is my favorite timer of the 3, just because having that gong going off every now and then gives you the confidence that, hey, the timer is still running. I'm not going to be late for my next appointment. What about the third key quality of a meditation app? How does this app help you build a meditation habit? Well, aside from the introductory course, which also exists in Headspace, and in 10% Happier, which you're supposed to do once a day, there is a really cool feature in the Waking Up app called groups. So you can create a meditation group or join someone else's meditation group. The example given is an office meditation group, but you can also have a family meditation group, for example. And what you can do is you can say, we're going to do a daily meditation. It's going to be, let's say, 10 minutes long, and we're going to do it at this time, and we're going to do it every day or maybe every weekday or something like that. And it'll essentially notify all of the people in your meditation group, and you'll meditate at the same time and listen to the same meditation. It's very neat. And you can just listen to an unguided meditation, or you can use the daily meditation, which we'll talk about in a second in the Waking Up app. And you can even add some time to the daily meditation if you would like to. Very cool feature. Haven't used it myself, but I may end up using it myself because it's nice for accountability and also for helping other people learn to meditate. There's also meditation reminders. As you might expect, you can go over to reminders and just set a daily meditation reminder. Or I suppose they call it daily, but you can set it to not quite be every day. And you can set the time. The reminder works. Now, what other bonus features does the Waking Up app offer? Not too many, but the one that I want to mention is there is also a daily meditation in the Waking Up app. It's just a daily meditation that's a little bit different. Sam talks about something the same way that Andy does in the Headspace app. It's often themed, and then it's a guided meditation. Now, what I like about this particular one is that you can actually set it to be 10 minutes or 20 minutes long. So you at least have some choice in how long you want this meditation to be. Overall, the Waking Up app is really solid and is especially good for people who are really interested in efficiently learning how to meditate and to understand the nature of their own consciousness. It's not so much focused on helping you deal with specific problems in your life as much as becoming generally good at meditation, receiving all the benefits that come with meditating regularly and being more mindful.
So we've talked about what Headspace, 10% Happier, and Waking Up each have that's different from the other apps and what makes them unique or maybe a good fit for you. But let's briefly cover a few things that all the apps do well that I haven't covered yet. All the apps have really good design, really easy to use and pleasant to look at. All the apps work with Apple Health and so can write to the mindful minutes in Apple Health and keep track of that for you if you like. All the apps also let you download meditations for offline use, so it's handy for when you're on an airplane or in a remote location and you want to do some meditating, but you don't have any internet access. Finally, all the apps are priced similarly. They all have a free trial and then cost between 13 and 15 euros per month or between 95 and 100 euros per year. Convert that to dollars or your local currency if you want. And I think this is a very reasonable price, but I'll leave that judgment up to you. Finally, let me sum things up this way, because how can you choose between the 3 apps that we've reviewed? If you are particularly interested in using meditation to help address some of the problems you're dealing with in daily life, particularly if that's around stress or around your inability to get a good night's sleep, then Headspace is probably a really good choice for you. If you're especially interested, on the other hand, in learning how to apply mindfulness to your daily life and seeing examples of other people who have used their meditation practice to enjoy life more or be a better person, then 10% Happier with all of its video courses may be a great fit for you. Or, alternatively, if you want to get the most insight in the fastest way possible into your own consciousness, in the nature of what goes on in your head, then you might really like Waking Up, which is all about learning what's going on in your consciousness. You really can't go wrong with any of the apps though, so my advice for you right now would be, whichever app appeals to you the most right now, download it, sign up for the free trial, and start doing their introductory course. Do those courses, or one of those courses, for about 7 days, meditate daily for 7 days, and then see how you feel. You can thank me later. If you like that video, just go ahead and give it a like below, and if you want to be notified of new videos that I put out, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Also, if you're interested in getting more organized or being more productive, you may really love my online video courses. The link to those is in the video below, so don't forget to check those out.